Hi, welcome. You are watching Gyanvani. If you want to know more about how the world works, then this is the perfect YouTube channel for you. Subscribe right now and hit the bell icon. Well, today we are going to answer a very important question, that why can't the nations just print more money? I mean, won't it help the nation solve so many problems like poverty, or maybe national debt, or maybe healthcare or education, and a load of other problems? So why can't they print more money? Well, if I had to answer that in just one word, then the answer is inflation. What is inflation? It's a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. What is money? Well, money is any item or verifiable record that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services, such as repayment of debts, such as taxes, in a particular country or socio-economic context. So, first thing we need to understand about money is that money has no intrinsic value. What does that mean? Well, that means paper or money is just as much worth as shit. So basically, it actually has no worth. Those pieces of paper in your pocket or in your wallets has no value. They are as much as worth as shit. But then we use them in our everyday lives, right? So why? So how can we say that it has no value? Well, because we think that it has some value. That is, we believe that our money has some value. That's why the money has value. This is something that is known as Tinkerbell. Yeah, the same Tinkerbell that you can see on your screens. Well, that's another video for another day. But but was it like that always? No. During the days of barter system, we used to use a lot of different things as money: food, cattle, weapons, metals. Basically, it was like a double coincidence of wants. You had apples, someone had bananas. You wanted the banana, and the other person wanted the apple. You just simply exchanged. This was something that was known as the double coincidence of wants, but it was a very inconsistent system and very inefficient in trade. So we moved on to something known as the representative money. Representative money, what does it mean? Well, imagine that this man is you. You have some amount of gold with you. You go to a bank and give them that gold. Now, in return, the bank gives you some proof that you have that gold. What does it give you? Well, paper, or as we know it right now, money. Now you can use that money to just maybe waste, give parties, or maybe buy stuff. And the person you give that money to can just go back to the bank, give that money, and get the gold. So, but nowadays we use is something known as fiat money. What does that mean? It means that the public expects the government to give some value for their money. So if the government stops giving value to the money basically becomes just pieces of paper. For example, just consider the 2018 demonetization that took place in India. Just overnight, the 1,500 rupee bills became just useless pieces of paper, which were worth as nothing. So the government stopped giving value to those notes, so they became useless. That's how fiat money works. Now, back at the question at hand, why can't we just print more money? Well, the reason is basic and an older economic principle: supply and demand. What? Supply and demand? How? Well, you see, if the supply of a commodity increases, then the demand falls. If the demand falls, then the value also goes down along with it. Let's try to understand this by an analogy. Let's say the government of India prints loads of cash and sends 10 crore rupees to everyone. Now everybody in India is rich. So what will all the people do with all that money? Let's say all the people go and buy sports cars. But unfortunately, in a country of 1.3 billion people, there can't be 1.3 billion sports cars, right? There are only maybe 1 crore sports cars. So what will the sports cars company do? They will simply increase prices. So maybe what one sports car costed just 10 crores earlier, the cost of that sports car has increased to maybe 100 crores now. So you still have the 10 crores with you, but your 10 crores have just become useless because the prices of the sports cars increase. See, I talked about inflation at the very beginning of this video, and this is where inflation comes in. Let's try to take the example of a country which tried to solve its problems by printing more money. Zimbabwe. Well, their ex-president, who is right now dead, and in maybe in hell because of the horrible things he did, Robert Mugabe thought that printing more money can solve problems. So he printed more money and distributed loads of cash. What happened the very next day? Every kid in Zimbabwe became a trillionaire. See, when the average inflation rate of a country is usually between 1 to 3%. India's inflation rate currently is around 7%. A country is said to go in hyperinflation when its inflation rate goes about goes above 50%. Zimbabwe's Zimbabwe's inflation rate went over, well, this is going to take some time to settle in. 6.5 sextillion%. Well, if you just started counting the number of zeros, you would maybe just die of counting. Well, so basically the prices of all commodities doubled every 24 hours. It was a chaotic situation in Zimbabwe. People were using carts full of cash to buy simple loaves of bread. So that's why Zimbabwe had to switch to to currencies like the US dollar or the pound sterling to stay alive. So, so maybe printing money, which may sound like a very good idea, is actually a very bad one. I would just like to end by saying, if money grew on trees, then it would be just as valuable as leaves. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video and you understood why printing more money is not a good idea. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to watch more such videos, then do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Signing off, Gyanvani.